People deluded. Arsenal 2, Southampton 0. The sun is shining in North London. Spurs will finish ahead of us this season, but they lost to Burnley yesterday. United and Liverpool have dropped points. We're up to 4th, even if it's just for a couple of days. Chelsea, hopefully they lose in the Carabao Cup final. But it's been a good week in regards to Arsenal and how we have to handle business. Did our thing in the Europa. We knew today we need to get over the line. We've got Bournemouth in midweek, and then we've got Spurs, and we don't know which way that is going to go. Like I said, going into the game, we need to take 3 points. Nothing more, nothing less. There's really nothing more. We know that Southampton, we want to get revenge. We know it's another season where we haven't won at St Mary's, but we can get revenge. They beat us at their place. Yeah, we didn't have our first choice defenders, but they beat us. Let's go and beat them. They're in a decent bit of togetherness as a group since the new managers come in. You'd think they want to do the double against us. So we know it's a game we need to be at it. Obviously, you saw a lot of changes with the Europa League in mind and us having to be wary around how we use individuals. It did shock me, but Aubameyang was on the bench. Lacazette, no-brainer, was always going to play in this game. Also, at least it's a positive to see him on the bench. Obviously, Ramsey started the game. Koscielny was onto the bench. And there wasn't too many things other than that. Iwobi started. That was kind of predictable. But yeah, obviously, you saw Southampton line up with 3 at the back trying to pack their midfield. And going into the game, I think we played well. Throughout the whole game, we were a bit flat in the second half, to be fair. But I think we started off well. There was attacking intent. I feel our midfielders in Torreira, but especially Xhaka. For some reason, Southampton's giving him a lot of time. You know, Xhaka, it looks like Pirlo when you give him 100 years on the ball. Picking passes over the top and them things. Our fullbacks, Lichtsteiner, before he came off, was doing all right down the right-hand side. More so Kohler and Iwobi. They were pressing. Lacazette looked up for it. The whole team looked up for it. That being said, from a Southampton point of view, they did have a lot of men in the middle. They did look like they're going to be rigid. But I will say this, though. They did throw men forward at any given opportunity, in my opinion. And you could see Redmond. I thought this was going to be a bit of a dodgy game because, obviously, it looked like they'd done their homework, trying to capitalise on our high line. Redmond was trying to hang on the last shoulder of Mustafi and Socrates and exploit that. And you saw Socrates and Redmond very early on, literally second minute or so. Socrates had to make a good tackle. And this is what I mean about Socrates as a deceiving bit of pace, because Redmond was favourite, but he did very well. He made that run off of Mustafi also as well. And I think he actually got in the second time and he forced Leno to make a good save. It was, depending on how you look at it, poor finishing from Redmond, good saving from the keeper. In fact, it was a good save from the keeper and poor defending on that part from Arsenal. So you're thinking there's stuff in it for Southampton. Their fullbacks, Valerie, there was 1 minute he twisted someone up, man. Who was it? I think it was Torreira and someone. He was twisting people up. Defensively, it was a bit so-so from him, but going forward, him and probably Target as well. They're showing that they're up for it. But I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I feel Henry got his tactics spot on. I'm happy with our intent, man. I actually think Leno had to make a good save in the 5th minute or so, and it's literally against the run of play. We've countered attacked. It's a good move. If I can remember correctly, eventually Mkhitaryan puts the ball into the box. Lacazette reacts to it and he puts it in the back of the net. Not his most glamorous of finishes. Won't be one of his career highlight goals when he tells his grandparents. But a goal is a goal. From an Arsenal perspective, we're not in the lead in my experience this season. Anyways, too many times at half time or in the first half. So I'll take that. We should have had a penalty anyways, to be fair with you, if we didn't. But it's 1-0 and we'll take that. Like I said, we're playing well. But I will say this though, Southampton, if you're Southampton, you will think there's chances in the game. It's a weird one because I think we played very well, but Southampton, at least before the second goal went in, they were looking up for it, man. 10 minutes or so in, we've scored a goal. Iwobi's up for this. Iwobi, any time the ball's going to him, he's bombing down that left-hand flank. You don't need to tell Kohler to do the same. There's intent. We're passing the ball forward. I'm seeing Emery gassing them to keep it up. It's all going well. I think Southampton probably respecting us defensively a bit too much, and we're asking questions. I will say this though. Obviously, for all we were playing in the opening exchange, Leno had to make a couple of big saves. 13th minute, big save to deny Target. In the second half, towards the end of the game, he had to do the same as well. But if you're looking at it, it's only 1-0 at this moment in time. You've seen Armstrong get in behind. Valerie's got in behind. Redmond's had his chances. And obviously, I've just said Target. So from a Southampton perspective, there's still something in it for you. Again, against the run of play of sorts. Well, I wouldn't say it's against the run of play because we're dominating it. But it's moments where Southampton have got forward. We've been decisive. We've, against the run of play, essentially hit them and went and scored. And similar to Arsenal, that's normally Arsenal in that perspective. So I'm happy to see us do it against another side. But 15th, 16th minute, play from Iwobi and Lacazette. They're just simply pressing. Jack Stevens and Angus Gunn, I don't know what they're doing in between them, but we press them. This is what happens when you press, and this is why I like to see us press consistently, because you force the opposition to make mistakes, and we force them to make a mistake. Lacazette's chasing down Stevens, he passes it back to Gunn. Gunn's under pressure, so poor clearance. Iwobi does the rest. Eventually, he gets it to Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan, who I feel has been sharp as well. I think both of them had a very good game, and puts it in. It's 2-0. It's 16th minute, 16 minutes in. Like I said, it is what it is. Like, I couldn't ask for anything more as an Arsenal fan, because we need to do our job. We know there's 2 top 6 rivals. Liverpool are going for the league. United are fighting us for 4th. We're hoping Liverpool can do us a favour, but for it to be a favour, we need to do our job and win the game. And you know, as an Arsenal fan, you never really want to be 1-0 ahead, and you're not really confident in us seeing out games. 2-0 though, we're good for it, man. I feel we can score more. We are cutting them open, and we probably should do better in terms of converting these chances. But it's 2-0. Obviously, you just want to see us get a third now, because 2-0 on a general basis in football is a dangerous lead. They were to score one in that first half or early on in the second half. We're playing against a resurgent Southampton, and you're fighting that towards the end of the game. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. There's variety in our play, essentially, people. 18th minute, I can't believe we didn't have a penalty. I know it would have been harsh, but I've got to call it. Romeo, the ball does hit his hand. And there was an incident in the second half where the opposition were given a corner and it came off their men as well. Couldn't understand it. 25th minute, Xhaka did superbly to find Lacazette. Lacazette could have done a bit better. Lacazette probably could have had a hat-trick today, to be fair with you. Kola was trying his hardest to make him score this game, but it is what it is, man. That chance I'm talking about fell in the 39th minute to him. It's laid on the plate. Like I said, I don't know how you missed that. I've seen you and Aubameyang make some serious misses this season, but you're terrific and quality player, so we'll leave it. 41st minute, Gunn made a good save as well, but Lacazette, the striker he is, possibly if he puts that a bit more angled on that, tries to find a corner rather than straight at him, could do a bit better. But to be fair, he did have to kind of think fast, but it's looking like we can score, and I do feel in patches, Southampton showed us that they could trouble us, and in patches that happened throughout the whole game. But I just feel they respected us probably towards the last 10 minutes of the first half. Kind of over-respected us, and it felt like, you know, at Arsenal, when it feels comfortable, it's exhibition stuff. The sun is shining. Emirates pitch is immaculate. We don't need an invitation to play nice football. We're playing nice football. You even seeing Xhaka is looking like Pirlo. Like I said, he's taking extra touches. He's actually peeing off Redmond, and he's getting into it. You're seeing Stevens and Lacazette laughing in his face, and he's getting into it. They're getting rattled, and we're probably enjoying it. And you're kind of thinking, we're looking good. I'm actually confident we're winning this game, but let's get a couple more, man, because you never know what happens when you get complacent, to be fair. And in the second half, well, at half time, like I've basically said it, I'd be wary of Southampton, because I do feel, on the basis of it being 2-0, on the basis of Valery, he looks dangerous when he gets down the right-hand side from fullback. Armstrong's had a couple of moments. They're making Redmond's making good runs, and he's having opportunities, but his finishing isn't quite there. I'm so sure Target had a couple of opportunities, as did Ward-Prowse. So there's enough collectively between them Southampton players, or as an Arsenal fan at this moment in time, to think there's still something in the game, and it's not completely dead yet. It's 2-0, but it's not when we're behaving like it's 5-0 to a degree, in it. So there's still enough for Southampton to be encouraged about, and for us to be wary of, to be fair with you. But excluding that, like I said, man to a man, we're playing lovely stuff. I feel Socrates made a couple of very important interceptions, blockages and tackles. I'm liking what our fullbacks are doing. I'm liking Torreira and Xhaka, especially with finding people. He did have that bit of moment of madness. I can't remember what minute it was. It was a bit reckless. I'm liking what I'm seeing from every member of the team. I do feel we're getting a bit complacent at times, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. You're just feeling, let's get this third, let's kill it off, man. If we can get a third and fourth, really go home with a feel-good factor going into midweek, because we just need to get business done against Bournemouth now at this moment in time. I feel we're exploiting the gaps that Southampton are leaving with playing three at the back. Obviously, like I said, Target and Valery, I feel they both put in committed performance defensively, but going forward, because of this, just what they're being asked, they're not exactly what I wouldn't even say they was playing exactly as wing backs, but because they're playing as wing backs, there's gaps between the back three. The back three of Southampton have to move more, have to move better as a unit, and possibly communicate with the fullbacks. But we're exploiting the gaps left in them spaces, people, to terrific effect. So what more can I say? Leno, even as much as I'm praising everyone, I praise Leno for the big saves as well, because this game could have went a different way. We're up for it. You just want to see us more of the same. I must admit, I did feel first 5, possibly 10, Southampton started better than us. I feel both teams were creating chances, but I did feel there was a bit more of a zip in Southampton. Maybe that's because of the substitutions, because of what was said. I don't know, but I felt they were getting forward and getting in behind and earning corners and definitely making more of a meal of it initially. That being said, 58th minute, Kola put the ball ahead. I keep calling him Kola. Put the ball on a plate essentially in behind, and no one was there to tap it in. And Iwobi did the same in the 60th minute or something like that. And I think Ramsey did. I actually want to see a bit more from Ramsey as well, because he's making good runs, to be fair, and he's not being picked out, and he's doing all right. I feel he did very well making an extra man in midfield of sorts. But I want to see a bit more. He's got the quality. I just wanted to see a bit more. Yeah, I feel all in all, the second half was a bit flat. Yeah, it was a bit flat. I feel I wouldn't say our standards dropped, because we did play some very good stuff, especially when Ozil and Aubameyang came on, and just throughout the whole game. But it did feel we dropped off a tiny bit in the second half, possibly naturally because of the lead and things like that, or maybe fatigue. Because although a lot of players were rested, we have played a lot of games in succession. I don't know, people, but we did enough. We did enough. Like, it's 2-0. I thought we did all right. I think Mkhitaryan and Iwobi was superb. I feel everybody was superb. Lovely football between Aubameyang and Ozil and them, man, when they came on the field. Aubameyang had a couple of chances he should have done better with and got the third. I feel, like I said, people, man, to a man, we were superb, man. We were superb, in my opinion. We did drop off, but I feel it was a good performance. I can only judge on a game-by-game basis. We know we're not a quality football side. We know top 4 is a myth, but on a game-by-game basis, I feel we did very well today, man. And you lot know I'm not a hard man to please, and sometimes you lot think I'm negative, but I'll hail us up when I feel we deserve it. Man to a man, everyone can leave with some pride in their performance, because we did what they did. Unai Emery, I feel he's got his tactics spot on today. Clearly, obviously, with the context is Aubameyang and Lacazette. It's easy for me to say it, but you'd think one of them would have been rested. I personally would have went with both today. One was rested, and then I look at excluding them, I look at the midfield and what I saw Ramsey and the rest of them doing, kind of trying to counteract Southampton flooding that midfield. It was very good, man, because even at times we weren't even flooding that midfield. You wouldn't have thought Southampton had an extra man in midfield, and if I was a Southampton boss, I'd be livid. But each to their own, man. I do think there are some positives Southampton can walk away with in the game. Probably you just look at the goals we conceded, it's against the run of play. So with that being said, there's sequences within any time a team concede a goal, there's always sequences that lead to that point. Unless Messi or someone's got the ball from his centre half and dribble past everyone, there are things you can account for, and that's probably it. Obviously they didn't take their chances. You'd probably look to Redmond, but several members. But I do think there's positives Southampton can take from the game, man, to be fair with you. Is what it is at this moment. So, yeah, we walk away. We know we've got Spurs and Bournemouth to come. Bournemouth first, better yet, in midweek. We've got to do the same thing. This is the period now. Games are coming thick and fast. Every member of the squad has to be utilised. It's been a good day, like I said, man. Like I said, this weekend's been good. The sun's been shining. Spurs have lost. Liverpool and United have dropped points, respectively. Regardless of where we are as a team, we'll always never want our rivals to do well. Hopefully, City can not let Chelsea claim some silverware, although I do think Chelsea might win that. Touch wood, I hope to be wrong. But it's been a good week, people, man. At least for now, we're 4th, ahead of United. We beat Bournemouth. We put ourselves in a good position. Hopefully, United drop points in midweek. And obviously, forgive me if I'm wrong, but Chelsea got Spurs in midweek. I don't really want to support Spurs for that game, and I don't support any of them. I'd want them. It's one of them games you want both to lose. But if Spurs beat them, then we can make some ground. You see what I'm saying? Or if similar to today with United and Liverpool, drop points, we can move forward. But I'm going to keep it moving, man. I've been here longer and I'm going off task. People, like I said, Arsenal 2, Southampton 0. It's been a good game week. Comment, subscribe, like the vid, share it up if you've got anything else to add. I'm out, man. We won. Fun and happy days.